Hey everybody, this is Aylad and we are back on the Starmada server. Oh yeah. So, I've been working on a ship recently. There's a really sped up montage of me building it in my last episode. Uh, and you can see it loaded up above me. It's nearly finished. There's a little bit of work I gotta do on it still. But that ship is not actually the focus of today's episode. No, today we are going to be scouting out a pirate station Alpha to find out where its faction core is, because even though this ship was designed to take out stations, it would really help if I knew exactly where to shoot. So I'm going to hop in my new stealth scooter. You might be hearing my daughter sneeze in the background, and she may chime in with some commentary every now and then. She's 4 months old, so you can imagine what that's going to be like. But yeah, we're going to hop in my new stealth ship and go check out an Alpha. So as we approach the station, there's a couple of things I want to kind of fill y'all in on. First of all, I'm pleased to announce that Finn is playing on Starmada again. He's taken a little bit of a break from it, but he's back. We're all excited to have him back. He had a long stream the other night. You need to go check that out. Yeah. We have a new member. Hungry Squid from V for Vanilla is joining us here on the Starmada server. Now, he's new to the game, just like we all were when we started. So, you know, hopefully he'll enjoy it and love it and stick with it as we have. And we're excited to have him. So, as I come up on the pirate station Alpha here, full disclosure, I am redubbing this after actually recording the episode. I was doing live commentary as I always do, and apparently at some point I might have hit the mute button on my headset without realizing it. So as it turned out, it didn't save any of my narration. So 100% of this is recorded after the fact. My daughter thinks that's hilarious. But, yeah. So, as things progress, if I don't sound too surprised or confused by anything, that's why. I know confused is my normal mode. But is this not a great looking station or what? I mean, this just looks fantastic. Yeah, even my daughter loves it. Alright, so as I got closer to the station, you probably noticed that some of the turrets were flying off into space. Thought that was a little weird. Didn't have an explanation for it. But then as I got closer, of course I'm in my stealth scooter, alright, so I'm fully radar jammed and cloaked. Completely undetectable to the AI. As I got closer, I really started appreciating the level of detail, like that Star-made logo that's kind of drawn out there on that hull plate, and then just the contouring of the station. I thought this was a little weird. I'll come back to this here in a little bit. Those red arcs of energy, really well done. It's just a great looking station. There's a turret that's not that didn't fly off randomly into space. Yep. Lenses for, I guess, drilling or scanning or something like that. You know, they've obviously already started digging a complex into this asteroid that it's captured. Use a crane, you know, possibly extracting minerals or whatever from inside it. And I really love how, as you peer down through the crevices, you can see the crystal blocks that are used to kind of indicate some kind of glowing resources. And I love that they use the purple planet blocks also to kind of give it this alien texture. The machinery on this thing is just amazing. Like, I'm still working on thinking that way, right? Don't know what that ruined landing pad is supposed to represent. or whatever kind of platform it used to be. It's just fantastic. Love this build. This is my favorite space station that I've explored. I even like it better than the derelict, what was it, Delta, Gamma, whichever one's really close to my home planet. But yeah, there's these big holes in the side of it, and I was like, okay, that's an interesting choice. Of course, if you've been playing Starmada longer than I have, you've probably already kind of figured out what's really going on here. I did not see it for what it was. There's just these big open gaps in it, though. And I figured, well, as long as they're here, I may as well make use of them. So on the front of my stealth scooter, I've got a little pod that's just got a radar jammer, no cloaker. And I transferred into it right about there. And then I realized that as I did that, it's really tiny, it's small enough to get through a decent sized hatch or hole, and the whole idea was I'd get in it, turn on the radar jammer, and sneak inside. But of course, as soon as I switched into that core, I lost my cloak, and you just saw I got my radar jammer blown off too. So already things are not going according to plan. But I went ahead, I jumped inside after kind of scurrying and hiding in crevices of the asteroid for a while, and started poking around. And even though this thing is only like maybe 3 blocks big by this point, after having its radar jammer blown off, I'm still having trouble maneuvering. So finally I figured, you know, what good is this thing really doing me? If I get shot by anything powerful, it's not really gonna matter. So I might as well just go ahead and do this in my own person rather than flying a little tiny pod around. So in a second here you'll see me get out of the ship. It's not much of a ship. And boom, there we go. Alright, so I explored around for a bit, you know, kind of scouting around. Again, the main reason why I'm even doing this is because I'm looking for the faction block, and there it is. It's really important to me to know where to shoot so that I can take out as much of it as possible. But I had my torch with me, so I figured, well, hey, as long as I'm here, right? Went ahead and replaced it with my own. Boom. I love this station so much, like I want to be able to preserve it. So if I can take out the faction block with a minimum of collateral damage elsewhere on the structure, that would be fantastic. I achieved that this time easily enough. When I come back in my ship, not to this station, but to another alpha, I want to be able to do it again. Red Panda Military Station. Yep. Alright, so I left, managed to get past everything shooting at me. Of course, by that point there were a whole lot of pirate ships. I came back in a little tiny pod, you know, just your standard core power thrusters. And started looking for that hole that I got into. And I thought I was going out of my mind because that hole was nowhere to be found, and I remembered where to find it. I mean, you didn't see it the way I've cut this episode, but I left and came back to it like 3 times. So I'm like, seriously? Why can I not find it? And it eventually dawned on me that what had happened was the station had not loaded in correctly. When I did my no combat capture of a pirate station beta, I kind of glitched my way in, and I also kind of rebuilt the ship on the fly to fit through the narrow spaces. And this time I decided, you know, this time I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to rebuild my ship, which I didn't do, and I'm not going to glitch in. And I had every intention of honoring that. But by the time I realized that I had glitched in through an unloaded chunk of the station, it was too late to do anything about it. So, yeah, here's another cheap capture. It's not my fault. It was unintentional. I didn't know what was happening. It is what it is. So I dropped my build block. I didn't bring one with me the first time, that's why I had to leave and come back. And so now I'm trying to figure out, okay, so where, what's my external marker on the station to find it? I had to fly through way too much of the station to get here. But doesn't that guy kind of look like a Minecraft villager? Like I came out the nose, his eyes are those windows right above, you can see his ears. I'm sure it wasn't intentional, but man, that dude looks like a Minecraft villager. So flying through the back of his head here. Alright, there's my build block again. And this time as I come out the near side of the station, I discover that it's down this long covered gallery built up on top of the hangar bay, which is basically the best landmark I could ask for as far as where to shoot. Like, it'd be hard to get a better site marker than that thing. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to have any trouble taking out Pirate Stations Alpha in the future. They're going down, buddy. They're going down. Just come up, line up right down that corridor and shoot. But after that I got to have a lot of fun kind of exploring the station in build mode. Didn't make any alterations, anything like that. The turrets are all back in place. Apparently the ones that went flying off, once they're loaded properly, they stayed attached or reattached or whatever. Here's that hangar bay I was talking about. Love that crane. I couldn't resist getting a few screenshots. These are now rotating as wallpapers on my desktop. Yeah. There's a couple Easter eggs actually on that asteroid. If you look close, you can see the rear end of an Izanth that's obviously crashed into it. I did go inside the Izanth at one point. It was pretty toe up from the flow up. And then that white spot is actually a giant rib cage of some space-dwelling organism. So that's pretty awesome. That was a really cool find. If there are any other Easter eggs, I missed them, but yeah, it was pretty great. Anyway, I love this build. Sorry for the kind of wonky episode. I really wish you'd been able to see all my first reactions or my honest reactions to everything that happened. But there it is. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.